stats from one particular company are coming under fire right now.
Oh, man.
Ty, now there's been a select community that has been anti-PFF for a very long time. Okay, very vocal. Since the beginning of PFF, there's been people that say, nope, hate it. Need to see a denominator, hate it. Okay, stats kind of taking over football was something that a lot of people hate. PFF became like the commercial face of stats taking over football because Collinsworth's, they're the Jordan brand of stats. PFF,
the authority.
Oh, you're saying the authority?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say also the Jordan brand. I think PFF kind of became the Jordan and the authority brand of like stats commercial companies. Chris Collinsworth tie-in, obviously, and I assume it's a negotiated deal with NBC that they will be used during Sunday Night Football, which is obviously the most watched game every single week. So these PFF things become like the authority on the stats world. And there's been people that have hated that since very, very beginning.
Sure.
A lot of ex-players and current players hate these things. Now, this isn't the first time or first era of players hating ranking systems. I have been very open about my feelings with the Madden folks whenever I debuted on that particular game. And although I was not a Madden player, everybody around me were Madden players, and they couldn't wait to punt with me their first time. And then all I heard from everybody is how ass I was as a punter in Madden and in life. That's how people felt. And I said, I never met a Madden guy. Has this guy ever watched me kick? Has this guy ever watched me lift? My strength was like 14.
Yeah.
I was watching myself just get my ass beat by people on this field. I try to throw a football, arm strength went to nothing. I'm like, these Madden people have never seen me throw a football. I've been all-time quarterback in my neighborhood since I'm 8 years old because I can go telephone pole to telephone pole. I'm pump, pass, and kick, world champion. I can spin this thing. You got my arm strength at 13. What the fuck do you know, Madden people? Make me look bad to my family. Okay? That's just my story.
And friend.
That's just my story. I'm a punter, low-level punter. Think about all the other stories in which these PFF grades have changed ways people's lives have gone. Madden has gone, let alone playing with yourself.
Yeah.
Getting bombed on by 14-year-old in headset.
Right.
On you. Bum ass, trash ass. Okay, in real life, though, you literally just lock this person down. So the rating and the number next to somebody, okay, always been a talking point. Whenever one becomes the authority over others, and one becomes like a Bible or like a most definite factoid for people, there is always going to be detractors. And ex-players have been attacking and coaches have been attacking. Spagnuolo, the defense coordinator for the Chiefs, I think 2 weeks ago came out and said, I know PFF is going to say, and then buried it.
Yeah.
Chris Long, Super Bowl champion, hit a dinger of I'll say a PFF take on his most recent podcast.
Get Mahomes quarterback 13 of 32 off my television screen. We're talking about legislation, what our kids shouldn't see at school, what they shouldn't be learning about. Like, should we have political ads on television? I want the PFF scores off the TV as bad as I want political ads off the television because, like, God forbid there's somebody watching the game who doesn't know who fucking Patrick Mahomes is. Right. They're going to be badly misguided, brother. 13th best quarterback in the league? I mean, if I was Nandi, and maybe he earned it this year, but I would fucking sue. I'd be in Chris Collinsworth's backyard, dude. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'd be at the window. Right. Like, what the fuck? You can't do that, dude.
You can't do that. That's at the very beginning, too. Like, at the very beginning, they're hey, let's introduce you to these characters. Yeah. Okay, here's Nandi, 119 judged. He's the worst. Okay, and it's not like golf. You don't want to be the lowest. Okay, he is by far the worst. Patrick Mahomes, middle of the pack. Okay, just average. It's kind of middle of the pack here to go around. Then there's people that somehow, there's like more than 32 starters, and they'll somehow put you in there and it'll be like ranked 27th out of 33 or something like that, or 33rd out of 30. It's like you're really burying these people on things that you might not know all the information. And I think that is why players hate it so bad. And coaches say, hey, I'm actually the one that told this one player on this one particular look to leave his person and go. It was our decision to do that. Strategy. You know, we're trying to mix it up a little bit. You can't imagine PFF trying to judge Troy Polamalu.
Yeah.
Okay, Troy Polamalu had no rules. He's everywhere all the time. So PFF would just have to say, well, he's actually cover 3 here, so he's supposed to get this deep third. And he left his deep third, so that's actually a downfall. He does get the sack where he jumps over an offensive lineman, but his actual job on the play was to be deep third. So they could have got bombed on if he didn't jump up. It's like those types of conversations being able to exist just completely defeat your argument that your rankings are definitive. And the fact that it gets showed in the biggest game, I like the players and everybody's starting to kind of stick up for it. And there's always been a little anti-PFF out there.
Oh, yeah.
There's always been I was PFF punter of the decade.
That's right.
Congratulations.
And we celebrated that. I still got the sweatshirt.
They sent us hoodies.
Yeah.
I put the hoodie on. I was pumped about it. Now, I would argue in PFF's case, punting is probably a pretty straightforward one on who's doing good, who's not doing good. So let's make sure we take PFF serious whenever it comes to punting because that benefits me. Now, not benefiting anybody else in this particular world. Then there's situations that brew like, TJ Watt and Myles Garrett this weekend. So obviously TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, defensive MVP battles, AFC North. There is real tension here between the two of them on who's the GOAT, not only in the NFL, but just the AFC North. And Cleveland and Pittsburgh, obviously historic rivalry of cities and towns. And this is AFC North football getting to the quarterback, big tough guys that lead their team. One guy sets the market for the other guy. One guy sets the pace for the other guy. These two have been battling, and PFF has seemingly always kind of leaned towards Myles Garrett.
Certainly.
Okay, TJ Watt has a lot of stats. Okay, which we thought they loved was stats that would indicate that TJ Watt is on a historic run, and we should maybe give this guy a little bit more credit. But what PFF says is, we're not just looking at stats, even though we are stats people. We're looking at the game. We're not looking at the outcome of the play. We're looking at what's actually happening on the field. You guys watch highlights, we watch film. If you could please elaborate on your PFF usage and thoughts, especially fresh out of a week where your brother got a lower ranking than Myles Garrett in a battle, in which there's a lot of legacy, a lot of conversation, a lot of tension, a lot of rivalry, a lot of everything between those two. So if you could break it down your angle. Now, we haven't left a lot of meat on the bone with the things that we have said about PFF from a player's perspective. Now, Jage, I'm sure you have some ideas on what maybe hasn't been mentioned in this entire argument, but you have been an open, hey, we can't be putting the rankings on TV. This is not a how this goes guy for a while now. Many other people are feeling empowered to maybe say it as well, or why do you think there is a little bit of a groundswell right now where people are going, we got to change how this goes if this is how it's going to continue to go?
Well, I think first things first, that conversation, the TJ Miles conversation, people want to take that and turn it into something different. I've had my issues with PFF for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
I was their number one rated player. I had over 100 score while I was playing. They had to change the system. They literally came to me and told me we had to change our system because of how you did it. So this isn't a guy who had bad grades who's disgruntled. I literally was their number one guy, and I still hate it. I have to start with this. PFF has a lot of very beneficial tools. They have things, D-Butt was just talking about it. They have things where you can break down plays by coverages, where you can cut down the film to, I just want to see runs to the right side under 5 yards. They have all this really good stuff that you can use. The number one issue with PFF, by far, bar none, hands down, is their player grading system and the fact that they project it everywhere, including nationally televised games on Sunday night where everybody's watching. And they make it underneath the rankings where it states as fact 91st out of 97th defensive tackles, 117 out of 117 offensive guard. And that is a completely made-up number. That is not like the coaches around the league and the players around the league. That is a guy or guys in the back room. I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot.
Oh, I like
Keep going. Love it. Keep going, Jay. Love it.
This is how you summon some change.
Exactly.
You got to get passionate.
Personal stories of Uber drivers telling NFL passengers that they break down film for PFF and that they watch the TV copy only and put a grade out after the game.
That Uber driver's
You can't watch film on the TV copy and create a grade. You can't break down a person's grade and know what they're supposed to do if you don't know their exact assignment. Like D-Butt just said, I know defensive line play unbelievably well. I could not go and grade a game for a player and give him a definitive grade without speaking to him, his coach, the scheme, everything. It's just a fact. PFF has a ton of great stuff. Player grading sucks. Stop putting it out.
Hell yeah!
Attaboy, Jay. Well done, Jay. Well done.
Jay. He broke the system.
He did.
This guy broke the system. And now he's raging against it, And he's saying, hey, this ain't right. You guys might have liked me, but I got teammates that you were misjudging in this entire thing. And Jage, I think that's right. We talked about this too. Like, when PFF was trying to make like a name for itself in the stats world, because there's a lot of stats coming, stats everywhere. They were coming. We're coming for your sport, bro. We got a whole new area to do it. And I would like to say, as football guys and football people, we're pretty open to it, I think. I think we were pretty open to the stats at the beginning. We're saying a lot of it was bullshit, but listen, there's some very beneficial things. I think this is good stuff. Whenever the coaches started making only their decisions for this entire thing and changing it all, I think we, kind of started judging them a little bit more harshly for not having a feel or a gut feel or an instinct or anything like that. But PFF became the one because of I don't want to say the hot takes, but basically the hot takes. I think they're at the stage now where they don't have to do that anymore, right? Which is kind of what you're saying. Like, hey, you got a lot of other good shit that would be a sustainable business, I think, for a lot of football people. I think you guys have found what you guys could be and could be a real asset for. So just doing the trolling holier than thou, we know everything shit is just stupid at this stage, I think is what you're saying. And a lot of us are saying, right? I think you were even saying earlier. It's like you have great benefits for the football world within what you guys have, especially with all the information that you've garnered, with the platform that you have, with where you're at. So it's like, let's go ahead and utilize that. Let's make football better. Team on me.
Yes.
Jage, any final thoughts here? This is kind of your thing here. This is kind of your run.
I'll hold my tongue.
No,
they do good stuff. Just stop doing your fucking player grades, man.
Hell yeah.
Well said.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
All right, let's move along.